Hey y'all, welcome back to Makeup with Allegra. And today I'm going to be telling you guys and showing you guys about some rigs. That's what I'm trying to say. Rigs. So what are rigs? Rigs are for different things. It's mainly where you make something from scratch or you put stuff together to create a useful thing, if that makes sense. For special effects makeup, people use rigs to make different blood splatters, different effects, and the one I'm going to be showing you guys today is for blood splatter. The ones I've mainly used is for blood splatter. There's different things you can use it for, but there's two different ways to make a blood splatter rig. And as you can see, there's like some interesting stuff on the table right now. You got like these tubings. It's like, what is this? These little clamp, like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, I promise. So first off, I want to just kind of walk you through different things that you can use as your base. Now, the one that I'm going to be showing you guys today is a water extinguisher. But before we get there, I'm going to also talk about a garden sprayer. A garden sprayer. So that is the same concept. It's the same thing where you will get the same exact thing for water extinguisher, which is getting some tubing. Same exact thing. And both of these things have little pumps like on them, like little hoses attached to them already. So then you would just attach just like this one, the garden sprayer, same exact thing. And that's kind of what you're looking at for the hose part. You're going to connect tubing to it. And yeah, so the air compressor is something else that you will need for both of these. You're gonna need that either way to give oxygen into both of these to make the blood splatter effect, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, but like I said, for both of these, you're gonna need tubing either way. Whichever one you use, garden sprayer is a lot cheaper in pricing, a lot cheaper. Water extinguisher is exactly not cheap. I only got one because I found it on clearance and I was like, sure, I need to get a garden sprayer for my collection because I'm gathering different rigs. But yeah, so you can just go to Home Depot after you get this stuff. That's where I got this stuff because I don't know where else to go. And you go there and you can take if you can get the hose part of the garden sprayer or the water extinguisher, you can then fit like the tubing because you need one to attach to it. So actually, I think this is actually the best time to bring up the water extinguisher now that I realize I'm actually getting into it, because I realized that I'm actually talking more about it. So I don't think you'll understand unless I bring it up. So here is the water extinguisher. What? Yeah, so this is a water extinguisher. It has the little hose part here, and this is the water extinguisher in all its glory. I love this thing so much. I want to get stickers for it, but before you even go there, so this is a water extinguisher. I think you can tell it's just exactly like a fire extinguisher. It's just water because there's nothing in it. So, you can just like unscrew the top when you get to the point of filling it up. And in the next episode, we'll talk about more of the blood recipes you will use for this type of rig, because you want to use a good one for this. And I'm just kind of going to unscrew it here real quick. Awkward situation, am I right? But yeah, so let me see how I can show you guys. So it has a pin in it, just like, it has a pin in it, just like that. And then it has a little pressure tracker type of thingy, if I can use my words today, to track the oxygen from when you're applying the air compressor to it. Once you have, because you will fill it up with your blood first, and then you will attach the air compressor to this part here and fill it up with air until, usually you want it to fill up until it gets to the green part or maybe just a little bit past. It really like depends on how much blood you put in there. So that's the main part of the water extinguisher. For blood, like how much blood you should put in here is about maybe like this much. Little goes a long way, because the more pressure you put into it, the more splatter effect you're going to get from it. So keep that in mind. So that's how pretty much you use it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. And then you want to be careful with it though. I want to make sure I give that disclaimer. You want to be careful with it, because whenever you're taking the top off, make sure to, even though it says it's like at 0 and it's out of oxygen or air, you want to make sure you press this little thing, and make sure to press it so all the air is out, so then it's safe to undo it, because you don't know how many times people get hit in the head with these. So yeah, so it's pretty simple, pretty easy. You always want to have the pin in it, and that's about everything with the water extinguisher. Now, what you usually need for it is a whole lot of tubing. There's a whole lot of tubing here. And as you can probably tell, I have 2 different size tubings here. We have a more thinner, smaller tube, and then we have a thicker type of tubing. And both of these, I definitely recommend that you need to have at least both of these sizes, or 2 different sizes, especially that the one that's going to go in the prosthetic or on the talent's face. Definitely should have a smaller one like this, where it's more comfortable for the talent and also just easier to place, as you can tell. So you want a smaller one like this one, and then a more thicker one. And this tubing, where you have the thicker tubing for this, is going to be the one that attaches to your hose, to the water extinguisher or your garden sprayer. So that's the one you want to get for this. As you can see, like I said, I have 2 different tubing sizes here. They're all connected, and they're all connected by this little screw thing here. Do not come for me if I don't know the name of this little thingy. Okay, don't. But literally, just go to Home Depot. It's the easiest. And I found both of these parts there, and that way it can go from a thicker tubing to a smaller tubing. And it's really great. It's really great for this. This tubing is a little bent, but that's okay. But that's the best part about it. You can go as small as you want. You just have to make sure that they're connected really tightly, so that way no blood will come out of it. And that way, and you also want to make sure that it's hollow on the inside, going throughout the connector, so that way you don't just have blood stopping right here. You don't want that. So yeah, so that's that part. And so, like I said, we have both of these parts. And then you also want to have some clamps. These are some tubing clamps to make it tighter, and because the whole point of this is to make it as tight as possible to the little hose part, so that way no blood can escape it. So you want to just put this on to the tubing to the hose part that's already on your garden sprayer or your water extinguisher, just like this, so that way it's ready, and you can attach the bigger tubing. Now this is the thicker tubing that fits my water extinguisher, and you press it in as much as you can. And now I'm not going to press it in all the way, just so that way after this I can actually take it off. But once you're done with that, then that's when you would put this on top of the tubing, and tubing connecting to the hose, and then you would get a screwdriver, and then you just want to tighten it. And it's pretty simple, and you want to make sure you get as close as possible. Even though I'm not having it all the way up close to close this part off, you want to make sure it's as close as possible and as tight as possible, so no blood will escape this. Because remember, this is pressure going through this, and you don't want pressure to escape it, and you don't want blood to get everywhere but where you wanted it to go. So just remember about that. I have very shaky hands, so don't mind that. But that's pretty much how you would do it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Same thing goes for a garden sprayer. Like I said, that one you can definitely change up and, make different things out of it. And what you can also do to make a really great blood splatter is by cutting or hot gluing, or maybe not hot gluing, but adding a flat surface to this. What I did now can't say this was the best thing to do for the first time I was using it, but the first time I used this, I had cut a piece of this tubing and used like one of the flat parts here, put it on top of this small tube that was gonna go on the actor's neck, and put like 3 holes in it, and then did it that way. So that way the blood splatter just kind of went everywhere else instead of just coming out of the one hole on the tubing. It was very interesting the way I did this, and I say that's a great way to make it work, to go different ways, but a better way to hold it together so it's not spraying just forward, which if this makes any sense to you guys, because I don't even know myself, like I said, if you can just find something flat, like using part of the hose, or just something that you can put on the tubing that's flat and then put 3 holes in it, great way to make that splatter effect, to make the blood go everywhere. The first time I tried this, so a little story for you guys, when I first got this, I got it like the day before a short film I was filming. Yeah, because the directors were great in it, everything, but when I was brought on, they knew I was still like learning, and they were telling me, hey, like water extinguisher, and they sent me a video, and I was like, oh my god, I want to get that. And I found it on clearance. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get it. So I got it. It was definitely a fail the first time I used it. We did a second shoot after that to make it better, and it looked a lot better afterwards. But I do actually have that video here that you can take a look at when I first tried it. It was insane, y'all. If we can bring that up, that was insane. Yeah, as you can see, it was on his neck, and yeah, it definitely it gives the splatter effect, which was great. But as you can see, when the blood, because there was a prosthetic, and then we put the tubing underneath the prosthetic, because I was also literally just the day before, and I was just kind of winging it. I was like, yeah, fake it till you make it. No, that was terrible. That was really bad. And I put the tubing there, and I did the same thing like I told you guys, the flat top with the 3 holes to make that splatter effect. And it went completely out the bottom of the prosthetic, but the top still made the splatter effect. Like, as you can see on top of, by his head, like, it's still coming out like splattering, which was great. And that's what we wanted for the whole film. But it's just the fact that it came down the prosthetic was really sad and kind of broke my heart. That one, it was so sad when the blood just came out the bottom of the prosthetic. But that's the example for the water extinguisher. Like I said, it's a lot of practice. This, you gotta try it out. You gotta try it out a bunch of times before it's like gonna be really good. I'm still trying to figure this whole like water extinguisher thing out, because it's just so much to it, and it's very interesting, and it's fun just to get new things to try. So I definitely recommend getting this kind of rig. As you know, I was thinking about it before I came into film. I was like, I'm just going to bring a video, because I'm pretty sure the studio doesn't want blood getting all around the whole studio. I wouldn't want that, and I don't think they would like that at all. So that's why I wanted to show that video. Even if it wasn't the best, it was still really fun and entertaining to watch and look back at, and this is a really fun, and it's also really simple that you can do for just like a side shot of just like blood coming out of your mouth. just tape it to, you know, the talent's face and just film on this side and have blood come out. A lot of the recipes that we use in a water extinguisher and in any of these rigs is mainly edible. Those are the ones that I like to use because, you know, they're thicker and they're easier. And also, if they get into the mouth, just like in the video you saw, it definitely got in his mouth, and it was simply just corn syrup and other recipes I cannot name, but that's good because that's gonna come next episode. But yeah, so I mainly use edible blood recipes for this. You can use regular fake blood, that's totally fine, but what you want to make sure of is that the blood is not going to be too thick for this, because if it's too thick, it will make it very hard to get it all the way coming down here and coming all the way through all this tubing and then getting to the end of it. It's going to be really hard. And remember to get more tubing if it's going to be like a really weird shot and you have to get out of the shot. Because that's what I had to do is when I went to film the short film, I had to see where I was going to be, and I cropped it down a lot because I didn't want to show myself because I looked ridiculous. Like I was having a panic attack while I was doing this. And I was on the side, but I had to kind of measure out and see how long the tubing should be for this film and to be out of the shot, but also to hide it under like the carpet and just hide it, and like even just going up like the talent's like clothing and costume, and to make it all the way up to the neck, like it takes a lot of tubing. So you want to make sure you measure that, and you consider maybe getting a longer than what you need tubing, so that way you can cover all the bases that you need. And yeah, and then like I said, you can go thinner and not thinner. You can go smaller with the tubing. To make it, again, as comfortable as possible for the talent, and also so that way you don't see it, because you don't want to see it. And I will give an advice that if you use latex prosthetics, do not put this underneath that and use this rig for that, for blood splatter effect. No, you don't want to do that. That's what I did in that video. And I literally made this latex prosthetic and put it on and put this underneath. It was a disaster. It's fine. We moved on from it. It's really funny. But yeah, like I said, don't do this like a day before you're going to film, because that's just, you don't know how to use it. I did not know how to use this. I was having somebody help me because I was like, I bought this stuff, no idea how to use it. And I was up to like 3 a.m. trying to figure this out. So yeah, and like I said, also, and I'm going over everything so you guys know, but make sure to be careful with this, because this does have pressure in it, and it will, you know, if you don't take all the pressure out, it will come up and hit you in the face. I'm sorry, it will happen, and that will really suck for you. But make sure to be careful with that, and also be careful when you tighten it, and make sure you tighten it all the way after you put the blood. Make sure you tighten it all the way, and make sure to be careful when you put, because after you put the blood in, and you tighten this all the way down, and you put the air compressor attached to it to put the air in, make sure to be careful and put your face away from, like, not looking down on it. Make sure to put it on the side. Be careful in case the top kind of blows off, okay? Make sure to be careful about that. But that is the water extinguisher. Like I said, I can't really get, like, a whole lot of details on a garden sprayer. I can't, because that one I do not have, and I have not yet used that one, and I don't know what I'm talking about with that one, so, you know, just to be safe, and yeah, because I don't know about garden sprayers, so I use water extinguisher. Wow, okay. I use water extinguisher. And like I said, it can be expensive, but definitely will last you a long time if you want to use it. Definitely lasts a long time. Really fun. It's really good. Make sure to clean it out really well. This is brand new, not brand new. This is the same tubing from that short film that was filmed summer of last year. So yeah, but that is the rig and everything that I have to ramble on about that. I love rigs so much, and you know, maybe we can get deeper into the garden sprayer and how that one is different and how that one, like all the details to that one, because like I said, I don't know a lot about that one. I don't own a garden sprayer. I probably should because it's cheaper, but I don't know. I'm not there yet, okay? My brain's not there yet, guys. So maybe our guest later on will talk about a garden sprayer because I know she has one. So, you know, we'll get more into that. But like I said, measure your tubing, make sure to know how much you need, and get a whole bunch of these little clamp things. Get a whole bunch of them. They will save your life, especially for this thing. So make sure to get a whole bunch of them, especially fitting your small tubing. Okay, yeah. So, and also make sure to have tools with you whenever you go on set. I always carry a toolbox when I go on set, so in case anybody needs it, and also for this thing because you never know what's going to happen. And a lot of the time you're winging it when you're going on set. So that's what I did that one short film. So don't do what I did. Make sure to take your time and practice beforehand because that's a little bit of a disaster. So yeah, but that is all of that's rigs. That's what I wanted to come on here and tell you guys about. I wanted to bring it in person to you guys and show you an example of how it worked and show you guys what a water extinguisher is because a lot of people don't know what that is. I didn't know what that is. I'm not smart. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so I'd bring it in person, and like I said, we will talk about the blood recipes that are best or that are good for water extinguisher and a garden sprayer because I know they're pretty similar as in the tubing and the pressure. So we'll talk about the right blood recipes for rigs. So we'll talk about that next episode. If you guys learn anything and like whatever I'm talking about and want to post about it on Instagram, you can go ahead and tag me in your posts. And I would love to see what you guys do and your creative minds with whatever I'm talking about because, you know, I'm going with it while I'm on air. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about rigs, and I hope you guys are excited for next episode. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!